All right. Next we have the major categories of banks. So there are several types of banks as well. The first one is commercial bank. What is a commercial bank? It is a bank which works on the sole motive of earning profit. How does a bank earn profit, Dhruvin? What is the major source of income?
Ma'am, so when we give the bank interest, so
Yes.
they ask us more interest than the bank needs to pay us. So
Right.
basically, if so they'll give us we'll give the bank more interest, more money,
Yes.
and
Yes.
when the bank gives people the interest, that will be less, so they'll have
Yes.
profit.
Exactly. Okay. So the commercial bank's main motive is to earn profit. Okay. Whatever banks we use, all of those are mostly commercial banks, right? They perform all the functions of a bank. So they will provide you with savings account, checkings account, debit card facility, checkbook facility, passbook facility, and everything else, but for a profit motive. Next, we have small finance banks. What are small finance banks? Small finance banks are, yes, offers basic banking services to small farmers, small industries, etc. So it is mainly set up for people who fall into the underserved, unreserved categories, for example, right?
Below the poverty line.
Mm, below the poverty line, yes, you can say that, below the poverty line. So small finance banks cater to those people. Understood? Yes. Also, what is the main purpose for yes, commercial banks main purpose is profit earning, right? For small finance banks is, their main motive is they are set up for financial inclusion. What is financial inclusion? Financial inclusion is, yes, correct.
Everybody should be included inside the world of finance, and everybody should get the right to get a loan, etc.
Absolutely. So the availability and accessibility of financial services should be to everybody. Everybody should have access to financial services. Yes, Thruvin.
While I was explaining the commercial banks thing, I forgot to say the main technique they use is the spread.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The spread is the difference between the interest earned and interest paid. So, small finance banks, financial inclusion, they promote financial inclusion. Again, what is financial inclusion? Availability and accessibility of financial services to everybody, right? So, even the people living on farms, for example, even the people who are poor, under the poverty line, they should also have access to financial services. They should also be able to take a loan, deposit money in the banks, right? So that is why small finance banks are set up.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, commercial banks can be made by anybody, right?
Commercial banks can be made by anybody. Anybody in what sense? Like you and me?
No, I mean it can be a private company without government involved.
Absolutely. So yes.
And ma'am, but small finance banks, are they just made by government, or do private officials also make them?
That is a homework. Write it down. Okay. So commercial banks can be of two types, public and private, right? What are public ones? In which the major stakeholders, 50% or more is held by the government. And vice versa, privately held banks, stakes, 50%, more than 50% are held privately. Next, we have payments bank. What are payment banks? Payment banks do not accept credit. They don't lend money out to people. They only accept deposits. And how much deposits do they allow? It's just 2 lakhs, not more than that. Okay, they allow deposits of up to rupees 2 lakhs, and payment banks do not offer credit. All right. Now, for example, Airtel Payment Bank. In India, there are total 6 payment banks. Homework number 2. You have to tell me which are the 5 other payment banks set up in India. All right. I've given you an example. The first one is Airtel Payment Bank. You guys have to tell me which are the 5 others. Next, we have cooperative banks. So what are cooperative banks? The members of the banks are also the owners of the bank. Okay. They have to have a license from the Central Bank of India or the Reserve Bank of India. They are legal entities, but they are privately owned, as in like 10 people decide to set up a bank, right? Now they are the members of the bank. They are also the owners of the bank. They also provide all the services, savings account, checking account. They also provide loan to people, which people among themselves only, right? So the members of the banks are also owners of the bank. That is what a cooperative bank is. Understood? Okay. What is a payment bank?
Mom, I had a question.
Yes, Dhruvin.
Mom, so like which type of banks do we use?
We use commercial banks,
Oh, okay.
right?
Ma'am, can I answer the question?
Yes, you can answer the question.
Payment banks are banks which do not accept credit and are built only for deposit up to 2 lakh rupees.
Up to 2 lakh rupees. Yes.
An example of it is Airtel Payment Bank.
Very good. And what are small finance banks, Dhruvin?
Mom, small finance banks are for the people who are
Underprivileged.
underprivileged. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Next, we have the Central Bank of India. Which is the Central Bank of India? The Reserve Bank of India is the Central Bank of India. When was it established? In the year 1935.